Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the engine room of the world's largest democracy, the Indian Parliament. This is the place where laws for over a billion people are debated, created, and brought to life.
But have you ever wondered how it actually works? How does one single idea make its way through all the halls of power to become the law of the land for 1.4 billion people? That's the big question we're tackling today. Let's get right into it.
Okay, to really get how this whole lawmaking machine works, we first have to understand its three main pillars. You see, it's not just one big room full of people arguing. It's a very carefully designed system with three essential parts.
And here they are. You've got the President, the Rajya Sabha, which is also known as the Council of States, and the Lok Sabha, the House of the People. Now, what's really interesting is that most people think it's just the two houses, right? But the President, that's the crucial third piece of this puzzle that a lot of folks forget about.
So you might be thinking, hold on a second. If the president isn't actually in the chamber for the debates, why are they even considered a part of Parliament? It kind of seems a little counterintuitive, doesn't it?
Well, the answer is actually pretty simple, but it's incredibly powerful. A bill is just a proposal, just an idea on paper. It has to get through both houses, sure, but it only becomes an official act, a real law, when the president gives their final approval with the signature. The president is literally the final gatekeeper in the whole process. All right, now let's get to the real heart of the action, the two houses. And Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha aren't just copies of each other. Nope, they represent two fundamentally different sides of Indian democracy. The direct voice of the people versus the interests of the states.
Just look at this breakdown. You can really see the differences pop. The Lok Sabha, the House of the People, is chosen directly by us, the citizens, in general elections. But the Rajya Sabha? Totally different. Its members are chosen indirectly by the elected officials in the state legislatures. And even the differences in age and term length, that's all by design. For the Lok Sabha, the minimum age is just 25. And the thinking here is that this reflects its role as the direct, energetic pulse of the nation, a chamber that's supposed to be open to fresh perspectives and new voices from all over the country. Now, contrast that with the Rajya Sabha, where you've got to be at least 30 years old. That, plus its longer, 6-year term, really cements its role as the House of Elders. It's designed to be a chamber for more seasoned leaders, whose job it is to provide a sober second thought and a deeper review of every law.
Okay, so we've met the key players. Now, how does the game actually work? Let's follow a typical idea from start to finish on its journey to becoming the law of the land.
For your average everyday bill, the path is pretty clear. It gets introduced in one of the houses, there's a debate, maybe some changes are made, and then there's a vote. If it passes, boom, it heads over to the other house to go through the exact same treatment. And here's the kicker, only if both houses agree on the exact same version does it finally land on the president's desk for that all-important signature.
So this makes you wonder, right? In this two-chambered system, are the houses actually equal? Or does one of them have a bit more muscle? Well, when it comes to certain issues, the answer is a definite yes.
And this is a huge one, money. When it comes to things like taxes, government spending, the national budget, the Lok Sabha calls the shots. These are called money bills, and they can only be introduced in the Lok Sabha. The Rajya Sabha gets to review it and suggest changes, sure, but they only have 14 days to do it. And even then, the Lok Sabha can just say, thanks but no thanks. Essentially, the house that we elect directly controls the nation's wallet.
But don't count the Rajya Sabha out. It has its own unique superpower, permanence. The Lok Sabha can be totally dissolved, the government can fall, and we all head back for new elections. But the Rajya Sabha? It's a permanent body. It is never dissolved. A third of its members retire every 2 years, which means there's always a legislative body up and running, providing stability even in times of political chaos.
So why all this complexity? Why have two houses, a president, and this whole legislative dance? Well, it's because this two-house, or bicameral system, serves some really critical functions, especially for a democracy as massive and diverse as India.
And this really gets to the core of it all, the big why. Having two houses means every law is basically checked twice, which helps prevent rushed or flawed decisions. It creates a balance between the national popular will and regional state interests. And, thanks to the Rajya Sabha's permanent nature, it provides stability. Ultimately, it's a system built for careful deliberation, not for speed.
And this all leaves us with a final big question to chew on. This system was designed decades ago. As India continues to evolve at a breathtaking pace, is this carefully crafted balance between the power of the people and the power of the states still the right formula for its future?
That's something to think about. Thanks for joining us.